present Formula Fords on the racetrack now for the Ford Care Australian Formula Ford Championship. Guys are all warming up the tyres. Here's the top dozen for you. Jason Bright sits on pole with a 2:25.16. And Gavin Monaghan in the Anchorage Van Diemen out of position number 2. Road number 2 is Mark Webber, 2:26.58. And out of 4 is Con Taparis in the Adjip Van Diemen. Row number 3, Tremaine Dickinson with a 2:27.37. Ashley Cutchy starts out of position number 6. Row number 4, Mark Noski, and sharing that row with him will be Jason Bargwana. Row number 5 is Paul Stevenson and Jeff Walters. And rounding out the top dozen, Stephen Bulden and Mal Rose. Bringing the engines up, full revs now as we prepare for the start. Gavin Monaghan and Jason Bright ready to go at Mount Panorama with the Formula Ford National Championship round. And actually, I think it was Gavin Monaghan on the outside who got the jump over Jason Bright as they head up here to the left-hander.
Sure did. Great start from Gavin Monaghan there. The man currently running second in the championship. He's got to get some points up on Jason Bright, so this will be an absorbing battle. 5 laps around the 6.213-kilometre mountain circuit. And boy, you talk to these guys after qualifying, it's a pretty intimidating place and little open wheeler, Alan.
I can't imagine anything worse for anyone that's come here for the first time, because being in such a low configuration, and those walls would look twice as high as they do to a touring car driver.
Jason Bright sweeps across from the outside there, takes control as they come up the shelf for the first time toward the cutting. Jason Bright, fastest man in qualifying, top 3 cars under the existing lap records of the Formula Fords. Very quick here at Mount Panorama this weekend. So it's Bright leads them across the top, and there's Gavin Monaghan, the Anchorage Van Diemen. A little gap back to the first of the Ajip AMSA cars.
Down into Firestone and the Dipper. Single file through here. Mark mentioned it's a fairly intimidating place, Mount Panorama, in a touring car. You can imagine what it's like in a Formula Ford.
Well, these things are pretty quick in a straight line, not a lot of frontal area. I think top speeds on Conrod Straight exceeding 240 kilometres an hour. Very, very fast as they thread their way down this like concrete tunnel down here, Conrod Straight. And they form this traditional Congo line, this big aerodynamic train as they try and get some aerodynamic benefit from the car in front. Pick up a few revs and pick up some speed, and Monaghan's done that very effectively too. A great toe from the back of Jason Bright's car as they come down through Caltech's Chase for the first time. Very aggressive run from Monaghan. This is a man with a mission. He's been running in Formula Ford for a couple of years at the pointy end of the field, but he hasn't quite cracked it for the championship. This time he sees this year as his best chance yet. He leads them down toward pit straight for the first time. There's Jason Bright. I think it's Con Taparis in 3rd position, and Mark Webber, the sensation of the wet race in Sandown, in 4th position as they come across the start-finish line for the first time. Look at this pack of cars.
Mark Webber made a big move down on the inside, and he's bucking and weaving here, trying to get the inside line. He's back and forth here.
As long as he stays in the Congo line, Mike, he'll be happy there, although he's elected to pull out rather quickly. That's a bit of a strange move. He must feel confident that he's got the power to pass the fellow alongside him. He's done that nicely. But at their peril, anyone will jump out of this Congo line and they'll lose the aerodynamic effect.
Look at this battle for first position. We saw them fight this way on the first lap through. This time Monaghan tucks in behind Bright. Couldn't get that position back as they come up the shelf for the second time toward the cutting. Hasn't Mark Webber made up some ground on these two? He's right on the back of Monaghan's car as they barrel down the mountain once again. That's him in the red and green Van Diemen RF95. The rest of the pack breaking up into singular 2-car battles. This is where the payday is. These leading 3, and Webber climbs right onto the back of Monaghan here as they shoot out of Forest Elbow for another trip down Conrod Straight. Look at Webber here. He's going to try and make Monaghan's car punch that vital hole in the air that he needs to get a few more revs on board. He's closing on the back of Monaghan's car here from the rear end shot.
He's trying to shake him too.
He sure is. And ducks out of the draft, and you can see how unstable the cars get when they jump into that hard air, but he hasn't been able to do anything about it. Monaghan shuts the door, not quite enough, but Webber gets very, very skating off the ideal racing line there. Did a good job to hold it.
I think he was just being a bit too creative there, Mark, and got himself unsettled. Fastest part of the track, not the place to be unsettled. You want to just breathe on that steering wheel. Here's someone's gone in, not looking too good. Not too far off the track either.
No, he's caught it up there on the edge.
I think it's just the approach to the Dipper, the top of the mountain. Can't see what number it is, but the yellow flags will be raised vigorously by the time these guys come around again. Monaghan, very, very smooth manoeuvre there. Ducks out of Jason Bright's draft as they come up pit straight, and he's got a faster run up Mountain Straight. Let's see if Bright got a good run, and Webber all the time ducking left, right, trying to look for a hole between these two. coming under increasing pressure. Webber now uses the draft from Monahan to take advantage of that lead. He jumps past Bright. He goes up the inside. They're side by side, 3 abreast in fact, as they come up toward Repco corner. Who's going to give in? Monahan goes wide. Webber's got the racing line, and he's done it.
He's done a fabulous job here, Webber. He's been a little nervous in jumping out of the draft on a couple of occasions, but he's fought his way to the front. Give him 10 out of 10 for that. Monahan's race is far from over, though. He was able to come back on the opening lap and take the lead on Conrod. We'll wait and see what he can do with Mark Webber this time.
Other two have gathered him up again, and he's not going to be as confident going up Mountain Straight. We may have 3 of them going into Repco for the right-hander at the end of Mountain Straight.
3 laps down, 2 to go. We've gone half distance, and these guys, don't they know it? You've got to get that critical fast run out of the corner up the Mountain Straight. Here they go again. 3 abreast as they come over the crest up toward Repco corner. Webber ducks into the draft behind Monahan. He's going to have a look down the inside, but Monahan covers his ground very effectively there. Wright can't do anything about it on the outside, so Monahan takes the lead again. Terrific racing. No fear from Mark Webber. He just got right into the midst of that battle there, used the aerodynamic advantage, pushed his way up to second place. Couldn't do anything about Bright on the entrance to Caltex Chase that time. He's got 1 more lap to do it in. Tremendously evenly matched cars and drivers. Webber. He's going to go. Oh, we got one in big trouble. I think it's the end of Caltex Chase. Bit of fire from the gearbox.
24 that's gone upside down. That's Gary Gassati. But as you can see, Gary says that was a heck of a ride.
Very wisely out of the car in a hurry over the wall. Looking at what happened, he's happy.
That's a testament to the safety of the modern race car and indeed the track improvements here. He's hit the giddy letter and the car stopped and stepped out remarkably without a crash.
Let's have a look at this on the Tui's Blue replay. Really riding that one out. Gary Gassati, car number 24, and over she goes. That was a heck of a ride, Alan.
Yeah, it'll be one that he won't forget for a while. He'll play that one to his grandchildren. But as Mark said, well-engineered car, and he fortunately just walked away from it. Beautiful.
They're on their last lap now, and this battle royal at the front of the field. Gavin Monahan has taken back the lead. Mark Webber still sits in second place. Jason Bright, the poleman, has now gone back to third. They've actually brought a couple of cars up with them. But this is where the action is in this race.
Ashley Cutchy and Contaparis, the battle for 4th and 5th, are hop behind this leading trio. But boy, they're cutting some quick lap times. Webber, the fastest man on the track in this race, at 2:27.74. That's about half a second outside of the lap record. The track temperatures here on this beautiful sunny day at Bathurst perhaps a bit higher than a few years ago when that record was set. But it's not having any dent on the level of racing. These guys are going absolutely flat out. It's Bright. Really tries a very, very aggressive move down the inside there, but Webber covered his tracks. They came so close to rubbing wheels. Side by side as they come down toward Caltex Chase for the final time. Let's see who's in charge as they come over the hump. He gives a little twitch to the left to let Monahan know he's there. And Bright's not going to back off at all. Goodness me. Webber side by side with Bright. Who's going to come out stronger in the brakes? It's Monahan, in fact, who's pushed his way through. Let's see if he can keep it tidy on the way down toward the final corner for the final time. Boy.
Superb driving.
Watch him look for the inside here. No, the outside's not the option. They're all dancing around a little under brakes. He's going to try and come back on the inside. No, the outside. They're coming line astern across the line. And I think Monahan or Bright was pretty close right at the finishing. Monahan, I think, will probably just get it by a whisker, but absolutely nothing in it. Monahan's got it. Second place goes to Mark Webber, and Jason Bright will pick up third.
7/100ths of a second, the winning margin there.
Let's confirm those for you. Gavin Monahan in the Anchorage Van Diemen goes on to win today's round at Mount Panorama. Mark Webber places in second. Jason Bright, well done for third. Ashley Cutchy finished in fourth, and Contaparis in fifth spot. Now,